In this episode, we search for used BMWs within the 250,000 Rand budget.
We explore whether the Toyota FJ Cruiser is a great used car purchase.
And we investigate a Ford Focus with squeaky brake pads.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Guide. Every week we try to provide you with useful advice, whether it relates to buying, selling, or maintaining a vehicle. If you've got a question for the team, you can send us an email at buyersguide@ignitiontv.co.za and contain as much information as possible, as well as a nice picture of yourself.
And joining us in studio to help resolve those troubling automotive issues is Khaya Finger from Car Chic and GC Lukele from BMW Santon. Welcome back, people. Nice to have you in the studio.
Back. Nice to see you guys here again. Okay.
All right, let's get into our first question, which comes from Simpiwe, who hails from Cape Town. He's considering two SUV options for family trips and holidays with a budget of 100,000 Rand. He's looking at a Mitsubishi Pajero Legend and a Nissan X-Trail, both with high mileage. He's seeking advice on which of these two vehicles would be the best option for his needs, factoring in reliability, performance, and overall value. Now, guys, before we go take this question, 100K for an SUV?
Brave.
That's GC?
They got the high mileage, don't worry.
Yeah, but it's brave.
It's fine.
Yeah.
He's
So,
brave.
so what concerns me in this question is that we have a consideration of reliability. Yeah.
Oh, the one he's chosen is very reliable. He could have bought a 1999.
Which one is that, Sake?
Guess, Khaya,
Let me
guess.
think. It's the Mitsubishi. That's Sake's favorite. So Piwe loves you. Sake loves you already, just for mentioning that. Use favorite.
I would put him in a Pajero any day of the week. He just have, obviously he'll have to check it out. If he can find one for 100K, you know, and everything still works, the 4x4, everything, it's all going to be manual, nothing electric. The seats are going to be damaged. Things. Look, he needs to remember the car he's purchasing, an SUV for 100K, is not what the car used to be.
I would urge him to consider another style vehicle,
I agree.
like a hatchback. They would get a newer car that has traceable service history. Even if it's not full, it'd be traceable service history. I think we need a candid conversation here. SUVs at 100,000 and reliability
Don't go together.
He's also looking to take his family on long trips, guys.
It will be a very long trip because he'll be parked on the side of the road for half the
It's
time.
one thing to get stuck in the suburbs and town. Have you been stuck with your family on the side of the road on a long trip?
Yeah.
You're looking for trouble.
It's a problem because 100,000 Rand, as we all
Not going to buy
say,
you much.
doesn't get you a great SUV.
No way.
Very difficult to find something in this sort of segment. Now, I agree with Sig. I mean, Mitsubishi do make good, reliable vehicles, but they're also, these kinds of vehicles are in high demand. So if an SUV or a Pajero comes up for sale for 100 grand, boom, it gets sold very quickly. The X-Trail, I wouldn't bother about. It's just at
Too much
high
of
mileage
trouble.
is going to be too
Yeah.
many problems. You know, the Mitsubishi, sure, if you can find one, as Segi says, you're going to find something that is going to be at the end of its lifespan. And that's the problem. You know, you're I know 100,000 Rand may be a lot of money to you personally, but when it comes to buying a car, it's not. It's like trying to buy a Louis Vuitton handbag for 1,000 Rand. You ain't going to get one. Are you, Khaya?
Depends where you're shopping, Adam. Have you been to the malls?
I'm talking genuine.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
You have to throw the handbag comment in.
For Khaya, because she understands what I'm talking about. Because her Louis Vuitton handbag, which is under the seat here, is full of holes. She needs a new one. Okay. So, look, I think Mitsubishi would be the right way to go. But get it checked out, have a look at it. And when you say high mileage, it's most probably 300,000.
Easy.
Plus.
Easy.
I wouldn't put my family in that for
Yeah.
long distance. I want the family are going to run away.
It's difficult because if you want a bigger car for 100,000 Rand, unfortunately you don't get a lot. It's so difficult. Even if you said I want a hatchback for 100,000 Rand nowadays, it's difficult to find them.
It's a
It's
stretch.
stretch.
But it'll be a better, reliable
yeah.
car than
Yeah.
trying to
But
keep it.
maybe, just maybe, he needs to up his budget before thinking of buying a car.
Yeah.
Buying an SUV. Just up his budget a little. Even if he could double it, he'd definitely find it.
No, I just found another 100 grand.
That's why you're not in
Back.
our sales.
Okay. We're going to go on to our next question, which is from Mark, a 32-year-old BMW enthusiast from Durban. Now, he's got a budget of 250,000 Rand for a used BMW. He's looking for a model with great driving dynamics, solid reliability, and reasonable maintenance costs. Considering the options like BMW 320i or 118i. He's open to other suggestions within his budget and plans to use the car for a long weekend trips to the coast and occasional road trips to his family. Okay, so he's a BMW enthusiast. Did he not do his research about
GC, can I ask
320i's
you
and
something?
118i's?
I'm going to ask you something. Can you say reliable maintenance or whatever he said, cost-effective maintenance,
I feel like
and BMW in the same sentence?
Of course you can.
Really?
Just not the I.
The honest man. This is the honest man.
Why do you think BMW stands for bring money with?
Or badly made wheelbarrow?
Oh, wow. It's getting worse.
I'm with,
Getting worse.
I'm with our viewer. I mean, BMs they handle nice, they drive nice, they're fun, this kind of thing. But the maintenance costs on them are high. The 118i's and 320i's with your budget of 250,000 Rand, no. But the problem is we're going to say go and look for a 320 diesel.
And
And
you're
with
not
his
gonna
budget,
find
we're
one.
going to say no.
I've got a little trick.
Okay, tell us the
Yeah.
trick. Well, tell the viewers because
Previous model X1 2-liter diesel
Wow.
with that iconic engine,
yes.
yes,
That's a good trick.
in around 250,000 Rand, mid-hundreds, 140, 150,000 case, absolutely possible.
Okay, great. That's a
Okay,
that's
so when your
family.
phone starts ringing off the hook, don't blame
Can I
us.
switch it on?
Don't blame us, okay? Because you said it's possible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's because I suppose it's not the most popular
No.
model in the BMW
It's not
lineup.
top of mind,
Yes.
but it's that same engine.
It's a brilliant trick.
It's based on a 3 Series.
Yeah.
So basically, you just got a bigger car. So if you want that kind of a car,
Yeah,
GC's got great advice there. Look for an X1.
yeah.
And GC's got a couple in the showroom floor? No.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Can't get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you're not going to find if you find a 320i and 118i, you will find them in that price range.
Right.
But you're going to need another 200 grand floating around for all the maintenance and repairs that go with it.
Only 200. Is you cheap, man? I'm
Yeah,
selling my
no, we
cars
got
to you.
Black Friday specials.
Stay tuned, because after the break, we explore whether the Toyota FJ Cruiser is a good used car purchase.
And VW and Toyota double cab bakkies, they compete against each other. Welcome back to Buyer's Guide. Stephen is a 65-year-old retired gentleman. He has a long-standing love for Alfa Romeos and has owned several over the years. However, he's now interested in some reliability in the Toyota FJ Cruiser. Despite its high fuel consumption, which doesn't bother him as he uses public transport when needed, he has a maximum budget of 350,000 Rand. So the FJ Cruiser only comes out in one engine, a 4-litre V6. Chaya, what do you think?
I think he's going through a midlife crisis.
No, he's 65. That's midlife.
No, I'm telling you, it's starting now. It's starting late. He missed it because
Yeah.
it's like day and night. Going from Alfa Romeo to a FJ Cruiser. The only place he's going to be traveling is from petrol station to petrol station.
Yeah, he doesn't
So-
care. It's fine.
No, he
Don't worry.
cares. He wants to know about the fuel consumption. He's
No, it
mentioned
doesn't matter.
So,
Transport.
yeah, just if you want the FJ Cruiser, okay, I understand you're going to be going, it's heavy on fuel.
Okay,
So-
so I had a 4-litre Prado, which is basically what the FJ Cruiser is
And?
based on. And it chewed on average about 14 to 15 litres to 100. That's your sort of average fuel consumption. If you go on a long trip and you're gentle, it uses 14 to 15 litres.
You just do 100.
If you go off-road, it's 20
Uses
litres.
14 to 50.
It is a bit heavy on juice, but if you understand that, it's fine. I mean, that car is bulletproof, solid, reliable, but it's damn ugly.
That V6,
I mean,
that
is it
V6
somebody who-
engine, like Adam said,
Solid.
bullet.
Guys, let's sign the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Give that man his FJ Cruiser.
Yeah.
FJ, man.
So-
That's what I said.
Yeah, somebody who likes Alphas, which are, let's face it, one of the most gorgeous looking cars on the road, most of them.
When
going
they're
to-
on the road.
When they're on the road. And he's going to
Midlife crisis,
the
I told
most
you.
ugliest thing. But look, the FJ Cruiser is solid. If you like that kind of vehicle, I'd say grab it, buy it. You can buy them with 200,000 Ks on the clock. It's
Yeah.
nothing, don't worry. It's solid.
Or you could just buy a box with 4 wheels.
It's a Prado. It's the same thing as a Prado.
Prado looks better.
It does.
Does.
It does. The Prado does look
No,
better.
guys, I don't think he wants
prettier,
a
it's
Prado,
prettier.
that
He
big
wants an
animal.
FJ.
He wants an FJ Cruiser.
Yeah.
So like GC says, Just let him have his FJ.
I don't know. I've seen the edition of the new one that's coming out. I think it's next year or two is coming out, and it's even uglier than the previous ones. I don't know. Whoever gets to design those things is crazy. But
Forgive
I mean,
Adam.
I know,
He's having a problem with his eyesight.
There's a following.
Just forgive Adam
Feel
for now.
strongly about this.
There was a following of them.
Okay, our next question is from Rian, a 55-year-old retired man from Mossel Bay. These guys are retiring way too early. He's looking to buy a new double cab bakkie. He's considering the facelifted VW Amarok and the Toyota Hilux. Rian and his wife love traveling and will primarily use the vehicle on tar roads with occasional gravel road trips. Which bakkie offers the best driving comfort, fuel efficiency, and safety features? Chaya?
So when he says safety features, does he mean of the car or like, high risk? Because obviously we all know, well, VW is high risk, but Toyota is even higher. I would still go with the Toyota for his needs. I do know that like tracking, the insurance companies are putting up to 3 trackers in these cars.
It's muscle based. I don't think.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, and it's,
It's not Gauteng.
Yeah, but once he hits the gravel roads, he's in trouble.
I think I would go with the Hilux. Just, he's not in Gauteng, as you said. It's a bit, I believe it's a better car. VW is also high risk, but yeah, Toyota wins hand down. The Hilux, you can't go wrong.
GC?
I think for his specific needs, I beg to differ. I think the VW is a better on-road car. I think it's more car-like than the Hilux is. I think for what he needs to use, also it's automatic. Assuming they're at the same price point, which they probably are, because the Toyota tends to be quite dear for the same kind of price point. So I know I've spoken to some people that have spoken about these bi-TDI struggling when you tow, but they're not going to tow.
Yes. The new Amarok is a Ford Ranger with VW badges on it. Mechanically, it's identical.
Yes.
So if you're talking about that one, it is, in terms of tech and comfort and drivability, far better than the Hilux. Far better in terms of driving. But reliability on the Hilux is far better than that of the Ford or Amarok. I think the Amarok is.
I think you mean far
Yeah, look,
better.
I mean, the Hilux is something you can buy and you can keep it and you give it to your grandchildren. But if you want comfort and you want features and you want, just a really nice car to drive and you're going to keep it for 4 or 5 years and move it on, then go with the Amarok. And if it is that new Amarok that you're having a look at, then go along to a Ford dealer and just buy a Ford Ranger. Because I think when you want to get it repaired or if it needs repairs, you're going to a Ford dealer where they know more about that product than the VW would know, because they don't sell a lot of them, so it ends up in a dealership and the guys are scratching their head. This isn't a VW engine, this is Ford stuff. We don't know this stuff.
Mr. Ford.
Mr. Ford.
Mr.
Ford, yeah. Yeah, but you know something else, guys, which we don't talk about too often, is his insurance on the VW Amarok as compared to that of the Toyota Hilux.
Got a point.
He needs to consider that.
But also, he lives in Mossel Bay, so I think there's different situations down there.
You think they'll give him a better deal on his insurance?
Yeah, I think so.
Possibly.
But
yes.
also, if you're talking about the older Amarok, then I think that's also, it's also very comfortable, and then that will compare more with the Hilux in terms of, the lack of technology, because it's fairly basic.
Yeah.
It's fairly basic, yeah. So it depends what you want. Do you want luxury and comfort and everything? You go for the VW Amarok or the Ford equivalent. And if you want total reliability and you're going to keep the thing for 20 years, then go and buy the Toyota.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. When we get back, we investigate a Ford Focus with squeaky brake pads.
And we discuss whether an 11-year-old BMW 3 Series is worth buying. Hello and thank you for tuning in to Buyer's Guide. Samantha owns a 2017 Ford Focus with 65,000 kilometers on the clock. She recently had the brakes replaced with MIG discs, but now she hears a loud noise when braking. Despite everything appearing to be new, what could be the cause of this noise? See, this is the problem. I don't know whether the noise is a squeak or a clunk. If it's a clunk, you've got a big problem.
But
Take the car straight back. But if it's a squeak, hey dude, unfortunately, you just scored the wrong one. She'd put 10 sets of brake pads with new discs. She probably one will be right. These new pads, the new brake pads, are not made from the same composite materials that they used to be. So there's more metal in them. So that squeak comes up whether you like it or not, and it's not the person putting the brake pads on, it's the way they manufacture these days. But if it's a big clunking noise, I'd suggest you don't even drive that car any further, and you go straight back because something's left loose.
Well, we don't know who fitted it.
Yeah.
So was it fitted by a workshop, or did your boyfriend do it, or your girlfriend,
And-
whatever, whoever.
Or your husband did it and he really wants to get rid of you.
Yeah. So what we
It's a
find,
clunk then, it's a clunk. It's not a squeak, it's a clunk.
if it was fitted, and you paid somebody to fit them for you, I certainly would recommend take the vehicle back, let them check it out for you. We've had cases in our workshop where some of these discs come with like a coating on them when
Yes.
they're brand new, and
You got to clean them.
some of them you clean off, others are designed not to be cleaned off. But when you put new brake pads on, I find sometimes that coating they put on the disc ends up on the brake pad. So you get like a grumbling noise, especially when you're slowing down. So it like growls as you're coming to a stop. The only way to really fix that is to take the discs off, clean them with a bit of sandpaper, take the disc as well, the pad as well, clean those with a bit of sandpaper, swap the right discs to the left and vice versa, swap them all over so they're now turning different angles and that. And it sometimes resolves the problem. But
We should
certainly brakes, take it back, let
Yeah,
them
I
check it out, make sure that everything's okay.
You know, we
Safe-
should ask Samantha to call us and make the grr noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Samantha, make grr for us.
Noises are difficult because what you hear, we don't, and what we hear, you don't.
So my take is it's a safety critical item.
Yeah.
We're talking about brakes. Take it back, get it checked out, regardless, a squeak or a clunk, get it checked out. That's my take. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what Segi said, GC, there is quite common. I'm sure you have it in the dealerships as well.
gonna say.
So many people come back with squeaky brakes.
Squeaky brakes don't mean they don't work.
They're not working,
necessarily,
yes.
And it doesn't mean that they're not original. It doesn't mean that they haven't been fitted correctly. This is a daily occurrence for
Yeah.
us,
It's-
even from
Must
a
they turn
brand
their music up?
perspective.
Yeah, turn the music.
You know,
up
it doesn't
one-
matter who I could buy brake pads and discs from BMW and they can do the same thing. Sometimes you just get lucky. They don't.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
just
it's-
get lucky, you
It's
know?
most probably one of the biggest and irritating problems that we have in workshops
Yeah.
because, for argument's sake, like a case like this, somebody comes into us with a Ford Focus, say, we look, the discs are finished, they're worn out, you need new pads, and you can just put new ones on. You put new ones on, you drive it, a week later the customer comes back, I just spent 10,000 Rand and my brakes are squeaking. They
And they
never
didn't
squeak
before.
And they didn't do before. Yes.
And then you look at everything, and everything is 100% perfect. There's no issues, and you take them all off, you clean them all, and you put it all back together again, and they're fine for a month. And then a month later,
Come
my brakes are squeaking. You must remember there's a lot of things that can affect those squeaky brakes, but really, it's
I just,
such a frustration.
you
for
know-
us as well, because all we do is put them on.
Yeah.
And when you see how they're put on, there's no way you can, there's no adjustments to them or anything to them.
but Samantha, thank God she's Samantha and not Karen. Can you imagine if she was Karen?
Okay. Okay, we're going to wrap up things with a question from Zwane, who is considering purchasing a 2013 BMW 3 Series 320i with 90,000 Ks on the clock for 240,000 Rand. The car has a full service history and he plans to put down 40 grand as a deposit. He's seeking advice on whether this is a good buy and if it's possible to extend the motor plan. GC, can you?
So I
2013.
had an insight off air about the price he's looking to pay as being quite dear for that sort of car,
Yeah.
that sort of year model. Try and find a lower price car, put a warranty on the car for at least 2 years,
Yeah.
and enjoy your BMW because it sounds like a BMW fan.
Because he did say, must I say goodbye to my 40 grand? Or did it say, is this a goodbye? What did he say?
Could I put it down as a
Oh, okay. Because
rather than putting it down in a deposit, find a car that's 40,000 Rand cheaper,
Yeah,
buy a
that's
warranty for 20,000 Rand, have a little bit of peace of mind, some kind of cover. There would be a car cheaper than 240,000 Rand. Her insights are quite correct.
Yeah.
Is that's too expensive for a
For that year.
320i?
Yeah,
Okay.
For 2013, it's way over. It's way over.
So it's
so what would a 2013, what kind of
Um,
numbers should he look at?
Well,
If the cars are kept well,
Yeah.
200, you'll get a well kept. Well, bearing in mind, we're talking about cars that are in the mid to late 100,000s in terms of mileage here.
Okay.
So they're not.
remember he said this one's only got 90,000
Yeah, so
Ks on
it's
it.
So
good mileage,
perhaps
yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
but it's still way over what it should be.
Yeah, I still would rather than buy a car with 90,000 Ks with no warranty, I'd rather buy a car with 130
With a
and
warranty.
get a warranty.
So the thing with 90,000 kilometers, you should be able to have full service history on that car. You should be able to see that, and it should be verifiable. So in other words, you phone up the BMW dealer and say, okay, this car's got 90,000 kilometers. Can you give me a service history from where it was? And you can get that, correct, GC?
Correct.
So you'd find and say, okay, for the first 5 years of its life, it did 190,000 kilometers, and we serviced it. And you say, oh, hang on a sec, but it's only got 90,000 on it now.
Right.
So we do an 11-year-old car with 90,000. It's roughly 800 kilometers a month, which is considered very low mileage.
Very
And that right there should be a red
that
flag.
makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
Well, look, you do find
It's
them.
possible, but
Yeah.
do your homework. Maybe that's why it's so over retail. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, when things are too good to be true in the motor industry, dig deep. Just
Yeah.
make sure. Yes, you do get these gems, you do, but dig deep.
I've got a car for you. You can have it whatever mileage you want. What was the mileage you'd like it at? Hang on a second, got on the computer. So you don't like the 450,000 Ks. Let me go.
Okay, make it
now it's on-
190.
Now it's on 90,000
This is the motor
Ks.
industry,
Good
guys.
deal.
Let's just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we know. This does happen. so
You,
you
got,
gotta be
you got
careful.
that computer? Yes, you can.
I don't. Unfortunately not.
And with that, we've come to the end of this week's show. Thank you, Kaya and GC, for joining us and for all those helpful tips and advice. Thank you, guys.
No, thanks,
Thank
guys. Until next time, please buckle up, stay safe, and stay out of the emergency lane. Don't be a chop.